back to Clair de Lune from scratch. Okay, at this point, I think it's a good idea to go back and kind of review the paragraph of the several measures we've just covered in these last, half dozen or so lessons. Just as a way of bridging the measures, because we've been working measure by measure. Now it's nice to kind of get a flow going. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go to Music Reader and start off by mapping out some pedaling for you. Now the simplest pedaling to do is simply changing once a measure, and that's easy to do, but I'm going to show you the alternate pedaling that I think will keep the music sounding both connected but also clean. Because if you just change the pedal once a measure, it's fine, but it may start to sound a little muddy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Music Reader right now, and let's go ahead and start mapping the pedaling out. So we'll change the pedal here, and basically change every first and third beat or so. Okay, here we go. Change over here, continue, let's go to the next page over here, and change here, okay, change here, and then change here. So it's the same pattern pretty much measure by measure, right? Change here, and then here at this point, we change every chord, with every chord change over here. Well, we're going to change the pedal as well, okay? All right, so let's go back and let's just play that through from measure 19 until the end of the page. And you'll see, just keep an eye on the pedal, just watch how this goes. Okay, ready? And so coming from the previous measure, change. Okay, now change. Change, changing, change, now, let me explain a little bit about the changes in that last measure over here, because I think, again, it's kind of a combination of chord changes in the pedal, but also a technique that I call pedalizing. And this is actually not my term. It was my old teacher's term, Jorge Bolet. He called this technique pedalizing, where you hold the fingers down long enough to make it sound like the pedal is being activated when it actually isn't. But the fingers, by being held, give the effect the pedal is working. So you can kind of do a combination of things where you can clean out the sound yet still sound connected. So let me just play those last two measures again from here. So I'm going to hold the notes until I can catch the pedal. Now with the pedal down, I can move my hands into position and not change the pedal until the very last note. See what I'm doing? But I'm holding the notes until I get to that last note. Change the pedal on the very last note there. And here, this is why I like the cheat fingering here, because it allows me to hold the notes until the very last note. If I did this, I would lose the connection of the last note. So I guess one way of indicating the pedaling might be more accurate here to kind of have this sort of point to the top note. That's really the rolled notes roll before the pedal change or before the strong part of the beat. Okay, so that might be something to look at. So if you have the pedal down, change on the top note, change on the top note, change on the top note. See how I'm doing that? Change on the top note there. Okay, so that's a brief overview of the pedaling. A slightly more advanced one where we're changing twice a measure instead of just once. And of course, with the ending over here, changing with rolled chords, but waiting till the very last note on top is hit before making the change. Okay? So that's a suggestion as you review up to this point before going on to the next page. Okay, very good. Hope you're having fun, and I'll see you at the next lesson.